Welcome to Contemporary Retirement. Contemporary Retirement is a public interest program focused on the retirement community. Every program has segments on legal, financial, and health issues affecting the retirement community. Contemporary Retirement is sponsored in part by a major grant from the Family Heritage Trust Company.
Contemporary Retirement is sponsored by Family Heritage Trust Company. The Family Heritage Trust Company is an independent bank chartered trust company established by local professionals to provide fiduciary services including fee-based investment advice, trust services, retirement planning, and tax planning. The Family Heritage Trust Company is committed to client service in our communities. For more information, call the Family Heritage Trust Company at 301-631-5900.
Contemporary Retirement is sponsored in part by a grant from R. Thomas Murphy & Associates, P.C. R. Thomas Murphy & Associates is one of Franklin County's leading law firms, emphasizing estate, trust, elder law, and medical assistance planning.
Welcome to a special guest feature on Contemporary Retirement. This segment focuses on various issues which are of importance to the retirement community. With me today is Paul Sweeney, President of Quality First Insurance Agency. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
Now, Paul, this is our 20th anniversary show. We started taping in September of 1998.
Wow, it seems like time has just flown by.
So we're going to do a whole sequence of segments on that with other people that were also been around most of that time. But you and I actually started well even before 1998.
Yeah, we were on a program on a cable network. Was it called the Senior Forum?
Yeah, it might have been one of the all-time worst programs ever produced. But it was a nice training ground for us to learn how to produce a show that people might actually want to watch.
Yeah, it was really good in the beginning. We gave out very good information, but we just had to fine-tune it.
Well, part of it was a 30-minute segment with a single guest. And so if you were talking about something that the audience wasn't interested in, you know, it wasn't going to work very well. And frankly, you know, we had some fairly tedious interviews as people kept giving one-word answers to questions.
Yeah, 30 minutes with one person could be tough. So what's the new forum here? Now you've changed it actually 20 years ago with the program Contemporary Retirement.
Well, we basically have 4 segments. Each runs about 5 minutes, and so we have entries and some breaks and so forth. And I've often said tongue-in-cheek, I can make anything interesting for 5 minutes, not for 6.
Oh, good thinking.
So as we worked on the program, it evolved over the years. And so first of all, let's have Greg pull up a little collage of the sets that we had. That boy had no gray hair.
Yeah. Now, what's that background? I don't see any
books.
It
was a black curtain background. It's actually in this same studio today, but obviously, you know, didn't have a lot of character associated with it. And of course, we've evolved over the years. We're going to see the blue curtain. And then putting us all in front here, and we're all trying to yap and not look too bad. And the Johnny Carson set.
How'd we carry all those books in?
Well, that's the screen that's behind here today that we have, you know, we have managed to adjust so that it looks like we actually have a window, and people actually think it's my office, but actually it's not my office. But and the Johnny Carson set was kind of cool. Let me have my coffee up on top there. Who is that gentleman? That we only talk about the hair job.
Yeah, that's okay. That's more current. Yeah.
So in any event, so Paul, you and I started doing seminars together then in the mid-90s.
Yeah, and that's how we kind of started. That's how we knew each other, and we started the seminars, and then you've continued doing the seminars all these years. Did you think you'd be doing seminars 20, 25 years later?
Well, you know, people projected, because there had been a legal show on the program, on this station before, that it wasn't going to sustain itself. They were sort of fearlessly predicting our failure, and needless to say, they're still waiting for it.
20 plus years later.
Yeah, so 12,000 viewers a week. So you know, we're reaching out, we're talking to the public, and you know, part of the reason that you and I were doing seminars was you know, the challenge was the misinformation out there and trying to help people understand their options.
Yeah, really education more than anything. There's so much misinformation out there. People were hearing things from their neighbors, from their friends, and they thought there was nothing that could really be done. And there are always options, and that's what I think you communicate better than anything else, is there are always options.
Well, when you think about us starting those seminars in the mid-90s, that was just after the first major change in Medicare supplements. People did not understand the changes there, and we spent an awful lot of time talking about them, yet today they're the norm.
Yeah, but before 1992, we've been working together for many, many years, before the program started in '98. And there was a major change with Medicare supplement programs in '92, and we're still educating people today on how you need to fit that into your retirement.
And then 19 years ago, you and I walked into WJEJ without any plan as to what we were going to talk about. Lou Scally sitting there, who's the voice of JEJ, asking us, what are you two going to talk about? What did we tell him?
So, well, we'll figure it out.
And he went, uh-oh, it's going to be 30 minutes of silence.
Yeah, and it was a great program, the very first show, and we got many comments about it, and that's been going on for 19 years now. When one more year, we'll have our 20th anniversary for that as well.
And of course, we have a lot of fun because Paul is a Yankee fan, and I'm, of course, an Oriole fan. He's glorying in it this year, but in any event, so
I'm
we have
glorying
lots
in the Yankee side of it. I'm not so much excited about what's happening with the Orioles. I feel bad.
We all feel bad when teams have tough goes. But in any event, we have lots of little old ladies say to us, we don't know anything about baseball, but we sure like listening to you two beat on each other.
Yeah, we do that. If you haven't listened to the radio program, do it. For the first couple of minutes, you'll hear us talking about baseball or really any other relevant sport that's going on.
And that's a call-in program, 12:40 a.m. on 9:30 on Wednesday mornings.
Yep, live program, great show.
Paul, as always, thanks for taking time to appear on the show. We'll do another segment here on health in a bit.
Thank you, Mike, and congratulations on 20 years.
Thank you, Paul. More from Contemporary Retirement after these messages.
Few things in life are as important as family. Leave your insurance worries to us, Wright Gardner. Call or visit our website to learn how we can make insurance simple and more affordable.
Every life that meets its end leaves a heart for love to mend. Sister, brother, family, friends are left to carry on. When the loss seems more than you can bear, it's nice to know that we'll be there at Double Save Fiery Funeral Home. We care.
Call Ed Lowe to help put your mind at ease.
Welcome to Contemporary Health Scene. Contemporary Health Scene focuses on the health issues affecting the retirement community. With me today is Paul Sweeney, President of Quality First Insurance Agent, and also talking about our 20th anniversary from the health side.
Right, I'm very excited about that. 20 years is extraordinary.
One of the interesting things is that people oftentimes wonder, why would a lawyer be talking about health issues and why would a specialty insurance agent be talking about health issues? But the reality is the driver that sends people to both of our offices are almost always regarding health.
Yeah, there's so many things that can happen to a person. They can have a stroke, they can have a medical event, they can develop dementia. Family members are concerned, they don't really know what to do, and they're looking for advice.
And one of the great challenges is that we find that as people sell health insurance as a sideline, particularly senior health insurance products as a sideline. And a few years before we started this program, you actually specialized in senior health insurance only.
Right, and the type of products that we sell, and we still do today, are products that are designed to work with somebody once they retire. Supplemental insurance for Medicare and long-term care insurance.
And we began this program, both you and I, wanting to make sure people knew it was okay to call us. People were oftentimes afraid that if they called a lawyer, called an insurance agent, that they were going to get hard sold some product.
Yep, my office to this day still does not have voicemail. If you call to my office, you'll talk to a real live person.
And you're not going to try to sell them anything that they don't need.
Exactly. We're going to, give you advice. We'll tell you what we think is appropriate for your needs, and then if you want to take it further, we'll, find a solution for you.
So as we work with families, we're going to bring up a collage of pictures here, but part of it is we are concerned about health, and so we've had Dr. Harrison here who's, talked about, foot and ankle issues, which obviously, as people become increasingly mobility challenged, is a problem.
Yeah, if you can't walk, you're going to be in trouble. So then we got Dr. Maisie up there in that program.
And of course, Dr. Maisie is with Associated Radiologists, but has a specialty in treating vein issues.
And many people as they age have problems with varicose veins, and it is treatable.
And then our good friend Dr. Bird.
Dentist gives you a good idea what your dental health should be like. I think most people would like to keep their teeth as long as possible.
And also talked about implants and how they work, so that, as opposed to dealing with trying to manage dentures, sometimes that's a greater problem.
What is this? Is this getting prepped for maybe a flu shot?
Oh yeah, we talk about this stuff all the time. And what I realized many years ago is that I had a hard time getting out to get the flu shot, so they were so anxious to come talk about it that they then bring it to the set, and I always get one of those. Many years I had a blindfold on.
I don't see you flinching in that picture. So.
Well, I was actually saying it didn't hurt before I fainted.
Well, you're standing up. I didn't see you sit down too quickly. Here it comes. So there you go.
And then of course we do flu shots on the radio show for you to talk about.
Right, it's very, very important, especially in our field. We're dealing with a lot of people that are retired. We don't want to give them the flu.
So that's a real old style CPAP machine, and I'd let them put it on me right there on the air. And of course, what's this, Paul?
That looks like a needle. Is that a needle sticking out of your hand there?
Yep, we did acupuncture live on TV. I'd never had it before, and they were talking to me about it. I said, what the heck, let's do some acupuncture.
Did that hurt at all? Or?
Ironically it didn't, and I was having a little shoulder pain, and so when I talked to the anesthesiologist, who was also the acupuncture expert, said, well, what hurts? And I told her what hurt, so she actually did it right there on the set with a little preparation, and my shoulder stopped hurting.
Wow. So you got a needle in your hand, and that affects your
Well, there were
shoulder.
some other needles there too, but the main point of it was, I'm a big baby, so watching them stick it in me and me not, flinch meant it couldn't hurt very much.
Yeah. Well, it's what we're talking about, what we're seeing is all these important issues that people that are retired have to deal with. I mean, you need to get a flu shot every year. We drive that point home all the time. If somebody gets the flu, there's a lot of bad things that can lead to.
And of course, I think one of our biggest, things that you and I did was with the advent of Part D in 2006. We devoted program after program explaining to the public the absolutely essential nature of getting Part D plans.
Not only did we talk about how important it was to get it, but we continue to talk about how important it is to pay attention to it, because the plans are only for a year at a time, and every year they change. And I can't tell you, we talk about it on the radio program all the time, we talk about it on the TV show. You have to pay attention to that.
So for you and I, more than 20 years, combination of radio and TV and seminars, we've devoted ourselves to trying to educate the public. Our business model has always been, if we have an educated consumer, we can demonstrate that we do it better than everybody else, and that's what this program has been about, to give us a chance to showcase our talents, not to try to get people to do business with us.
I couldn't agree more, Mike, and not only that, just to let people know that there's always choices, there's always an option.
Paul, thanks for the 20 years of support.
Thank you for the 20 years, Mike.
Thanks. More from Contemporary Retirement after these messages.
Tranquility at Fredericktown Assisted Living and Memory Care provides a warm, home-like atmosphere that promotes daily life enrichment. At Tranquility, our medical director is a geriatric physician. Our professionals support and understand the various stages associated with Alzheimer's and dementia. We have on-site physical, occupational, and speech therapists, as well as around-the-clock licensed nurses. For more information, give Tranquility at Fredericktown a call today, because everyone deserves great care. Let us do the caregiving so you and your loved one can embrace life again.
Guys, I thought you were supposed to be working in the yard.
But Dad, just one more bid on earlyauctions.com. If you haven't visited HurleyAuctions.com, you don't know what you're missing. Whether you're buying or selling, antique cars, tractors, boats, or real estate, you can do it all at HurleyAuctions.com.
Get to know Dr. Carrie Hesley at Diagnostic Imaging Services.
What I find most rewarding is caring for women through our Women's Imaging Center. We have a caring staff that will ease patients through an ultrasound, bone densitometry, breast biopsy, or mammogram. Our health team is sensitive to emotions involved in women's imaging and understands that every woman is at risk for breast cancer. Providing the community with a center that is so dedicated to breast health and the imaging needs of women is something special.
DIS Women's Imaging Center, providing women with progressive care.
Welcome to the Is It Legal feature on contemporary retirement. Is It Legal focuses on the legal issues affecting the retirement community. With me today is Tom Murphy from the R. Thomas Murphy Law Firm with offices in Waynesboro, Chambersburg, and McConnellsburg. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Good morning, Mike.
Tom, you know, we've been hammering at this for 20 years.
Yeah, it's the 20th anniversary show. So, you know, you've been doing this for 20 plus years, 14 with me. So how the heck did this thing get started?
Well, you know, it's very interesting. Your former law partner who unfortunately passed, Greg Kearse, we'll have a picture of him in a minute. Yeah. You know, and I both kind of realized that we could not do enough seminars. We could not do enough covered dishes, luncheons at senior clubs and so forth to communicate just the massive amount of misinformation out there to try to deter that.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And, you know, I get people come up off the street or come in and say how beneficial it is, but what do you think's so unique about the show that just reaches
Well, I think
people?
that the thing that's really important, and we all realize that, you know, when we created the show is that, you know, your law firm, my law firm cannot do a 30-second spot or a 60-second spot in a traditional advertising mode and have it mean anything. And we have the same problem even in print media because, you know, this stuff can glaze people's eyes over pretty quickly.
You're right there.
And so the reality is we needed to reach out. And so the concept of the program was in a non-threatening, non-commercial environment to do basically 5 to 6 minute infomercials on very specific segments related to what's going on in people's lives.
Yeah, it seems like you're reaching a lot of people. What's the viewing audience these days?
Well, we have about 12,000 people a week watch the program. Wow. And, you know, and it's very targeted to, you know, people that are concerned about retirement issues, some getting ready for retirement, people halfway through retirement, and people worried about end-of-life issues.
Yeah. Did you think starting out all those years ago that you'd be standing here doing a show?
Absolutely not. You know? So anyway, we're going to bring up a collage of some pictures here, and the first one there shows in the middle your former law partner, Greg, who has passed, Scott Borson, who's a lawyer that no longer practices in this area, and what I call the Johnny Carson set.
Nice. Yeah.
Dave Griever, one of my favorite lawyers out of Frederick, also a very strong faith-based guy, and so, you know, we've enjoyed having him from time to time on talking about some of those issues. And who's that?
I don't know. Looks familiar. Amazing.
So in any event, and the sets have evolved over the years. We started 1998, and then we really felt that we needed to figure out some way to reach out and talk to the public. And in fact, at this time, that station was an NBC affiliate. Right. We had the Sunday Today show right ahead of us, and so we used that as a methodology to try to get people who would watch us. And then, of course, this station is no longer affiliated with the NBC and the Today Show, but we had ratings comparable to the Today Show, which really meant over time it resonated with people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you really have touched a lot of people over the years, and it's just wonderful that you had the vision to do this and put this show together, and the endurance to keep going after 20 long years.
Well, you know, we try to make it fun. We hope the audience realizes that, you know, we're not out here grinding it. We really actually want people to realize that we actually care about what's going on. We try to give them some information, and, you know, we oftentimes tell people, you don't have to use us in order to get this stuff. You know, I share my forms with any lawyer who will use them, because at the end of the day, it's not forms anyway. It's the information, understanding no matter where you are in this process, you have options.
Absolutely, and so that's the biggest message, and I think you perpetuated that over the 20 years, and hopefully you just keep going strong.
I don't think I'll be here another 20 years from now. But, you know, as we talked, and when I first started with your former partner, Greg, and I explained the concept to him, he said, you know, We need to get out and communicate to the public. We need to tell them why we're here and why we're important. And yet most people, particularly when we started 20 years ago, thought elder law attorneys were estate planners.
Right. It's, you know, it's just evolved, and it's great that you could keep people up to speed with the changes in the rules, the law, and just, you know, keep reminding me of the important priorities out there.
And of course, the great challenge that we deal with is that mad rush of information that's just wrong, and trying to get people to listen and to understand, to not rely upon people who are not acting in their best interest.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably a big component of the value, just pointing out danger areas.
You know, so you're confronted with huge long-term care costs, you take an appointment, you find out what your options are, and then you figure out how to go. Just do not suck into this morass of making you believe there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and so you seek out options, and hopefully you perpetuate that and help people see the light.
Thanks for appearing on the 20th anniversary show,
My
Tom.
pleasure. Congratulations.
Thank you. More from Contemporary Retirement after these messages.
Albright, Crumbacker, Mal, and Idtel are a full-service firm that provides elder care services, including managing incoming bills, bill payment, depositing checks, balancing bank statements, and preparing, planning, and filing personal tax returns. Put your mind at ease and call us today.
Welcome to the Making Sense feature on Contemporary Retirement. Making Sense focuses on the financial issues affecting the retirement community. With me today is Christian Wright, President of Wright, Gardner Insurance, and a continuation of our 20th anniversary program. Tell us a little bit about why your company chose to be involved with our program.
Well, you told me that it was about time that people get to know Wright Gardner. I mean, we had been around for 100 years in downtown Hagerstown, providing insurance services to clients in Hagerstown and surrounding areas as well. And when you told me that, I thought, this is Michael just asking us to be an advertiser on your show. But the more I thought about it, you know, you were right. It was about time that we put a smiley face on the name of Wright Gardner. It's so important for us as financial advisors to speak to clients. And you know, I think that there is definitely some apprehension of people calling their insurance agents and coming to see them. We talk about it all the time on your show, but in truth, Michael, we want people to come see us. We want to talk to them. And quite frankly, if we have to paint a smiley face on the side of our building, maybe we'll do that. I mean, it's important that people come see us.
And you're individuals, you know, you care about people. That's why you're successful. And yet sometimes in our society today, there's this sense that these financial institutions don't care about their customers.
Exactly. And it's you know, so much geared towards you know, either a cookie cutter type of approach, and also, you know, this will fit you, you don't need to tell us anything more. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, insurance policies are legal documents. And how many legal documents do you write up that are cookie cutter for every person and you just hand to them? I mean, it's just not the case. So it's important that people come talk to us. We'll come see you. If you know, just give us a call, and we'll help figure out the right insurance program for you every single time.
All right, we're going to pull up a collage of some pictures here showing the history. You know, this is a long time ago. This is when I didn't have gray hairs. Pete Alexander regularly appears on this program. And part of what we were trying to do there is to expand the message, because the reality is, one-on-one in a big society, it's hard to communicate to everybody.
It is, yes. And you know, the television gives, I think, I watch this program, Michael, religiously. And, you know, Ed Lowe on there, and Mr. Fiery Funeral Home.
You know, and they have the same problems that you have. You can't do a 30 or 60-second spot and explain the service model. People need to hear an explanation. Why is this important? And yet, you know, they think it's all the same. Who's that guy?
The strapping young lad. I don't know.
You know, and I can remember, you know, when you first started coming on
I was scared.
Scared.
I mean, I really was. I didn't know what to think of this, but you guided me through. Thanks. Oh, well, who? Now that is probably your favorite guest, I would think.
Betsy Day, President of the Community Foundation, my wife. You know, she's
excellent.
You know, and it's all about communicating to the public about things that are of importance to them, even sometimes when they don't realize that it is important to them.
Exactly. And I think that the messages that you give to your viewers, I mean, as I was starting to say, I watch this show regularly, and I'm always learning something. And for no other reason than the fact that you put these people in my living room, I want to thank you for that. It's awesome.
Well, we really appreciate it. And one of the great things for me, too, is if occasionally I see something out there and say, I don't know anything about that. So I'll call a person up and invite them to come on the program. Tell me about it.
They're good. Well, and I hope your viewers do, obviously, if they learn something from the show, pick up the phone and also call your guests. I know all of your guests are willing to speak with people.
They've put themselves out.
Absolutely. And that was really important to me when you asked if we would be a sponsor and also be a regular guest on your show.
So we've been pounding this for 20 years, and,
Wow.
and the messaging is trying to, to talk to the public about what they need to hear, not about trying specifically. I've never run an ad on this program.
Yeah.
We just talk about what they need to hear.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about selling things, and you're right. I mean, you're giving people information, and what they do with that information is up to them. But, again, I want to thank you for the 20 years that you've given this community.
Well, I thank you for sponsoring the program.
Hey.
It's been a lot of fun having you on here.
I wish you could also do some outtakes at some point, because those are really fun.
Well, we had some earlier outtakes on this thing.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a seasoned professional. But I've witnessed some outtakes, I think, that are...
Well, at the end of the day, we don't even go for perfection. We just tell people, just tell your story. At the end of the day, we joked a little bit about putting a smiley face on that building of yours downtown because, frankly, it doesn't invite people to come in, but now people call you.
Right. Well, and we want people in. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll tag the building with a smiley face.
Well, anyway, Christian, thanks always for sponsoring the show and being on and being
Absolutely.
a good sport.
Hey, thanks, Michael, for 20 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you from Contemporary Retirement.
Remember a more carefree time? Leave your insurance worries to us, Wright Gardner. Call or visit our website to learn how we can make insurance simple and more affordable.
As the host of Contemporary Retirement, I want to thank you for your support for the last 20 years. It's been a lot of fun. You can obviously see as we've evolved the sets, me going from no gray hair to a head full of gray hair, that we've spent a long time working here together, and we appreciate your support. I know our sponsors also appreciate your support, and we have a lot of fun doing this. I don't know how much longer we can continue to do it, but we thank you for your support. Thank you from Contemporary Retirement.
These days, it seems like everything's online, and filling out claim forms and receiving and paying bills online isn't always easiest. That's why we at Quality First Insurance encourage you to just give us a call. Let us help.
Hi there, I'm Paul Sweeney with Quality First Insurance, and it's still just this simple. Our offices are open every weekday where you'll be able to call and speak to real, live people.
No detail was missed. I'm so glad that I turned to Quality First Insurance.
I've recommended Quality First Insurance to my friends who've been just as satisfied.
If you're not happy with what you're paying for Medigap, or more importantly, not happy with your service, give us a try. We're locally owned, and we take the time to provide you with the best. We are Quality First Insurance, and our mission is to provide quality products to quality people. Pick up the phone and give us a call today at 800-745-1411.